Hello and welcome. Thank you all for joining us to see what's next. We've spent the last few years talking at length about the potential of enterprise AI. We've seen the demos, we felt the excitement, and we've talked the talk. But the honeymoon phase is over. It's time for AI to walk the walk. The latest tools are going further and deeper in that direction. We're shifting from assistants who are summarizing your emails to AI coworkers like Claude Code that actually get work done. The result, however, is simply more pressure on companies to industrialize AI across the enterprise as soon as possible. We stand by what we said at Celonis. After over 400 enterprise AI deployments, we found that to make enterprise AI truly work, there are three things it needs. It needs to be deployed strategically in the right places. It needs to work with everything else you're already doing. And most importantly, what we've been saying for the past 3 years, it needs to understand the context of how your business runs. But lately, we're not the only ones who think so. Let's take a look.
I think if you just buy large language models off the shelf and try to do any of this, it won't work.
AI models that exist right now are incredibly intelligent, but they're corporate stupid. They don't really understand the context.
The atomic unit of an AI agent is actually a process, and that spans departments, it spans systems of record. And I wonder, is there sort of a system of record for your core company's processes?
Providing the data that they have that's proprietary in the enterprise as context to the agents, which is really what they need. That, I think, is going to be like the big unlock.
You have a new intelligence layer, but the intelligence layer is only as good as the context you give it. So the question is, how do you really have this AI also have that context?
We are starting to see is that you want to be able to go manage and govern that metadata, that knowledge, and that's what actually provides all of that context in the business processes around things that help us describe how our business works. They come together, right? You need the data, but you also need that knowledge together. So that together is what's actually building that enterprise brain.
Once you build a software layer to orchestrate and manage the large language models in a language that your enterprise understands, you actually can create value.
So why is everyone now realizing that context for AI is suddenly the trillion-dollar opportunity? Of course, AI models are brilliant reasoning engines, but they're probabilistic. They predict based on patterns. And in the case of LLMs, they learn from the content on the internet. So they know generally what an invoice is, how a supply chain works, and what a bottleneck looks like. But when it comes to how those things work in your specific business, they have some major operational blind spots. Take Uniper, one of our customers, an energy provider powering millions of homes and businesses 24/7. Uniper wanted to deploy a maintenance reliability agent that could stay ahead of maintenance needs, ensure the right spare parts are available before planners ask, and reduce delays during shutdowns. With their existing data platforms and tools, Uniper could tell their AI agent the status of a maintenance orders and what suppliers they have, but anyone could look that up. Uniper wanted their agent to be able to help their team see around the corners, understanding why delays happen, learning how previous shutdowns created bottlenecks, and getting in front of potential shutdowns before they create major issues. That's where most AI falls short. It lacks the context to weigh trade-offs, make informed predictions, and recommend the right actions based on your operational history and policies. Without that context, AI will never be relevant, effective, or scalable. What AI is missing is operational clarity, a living understanding of how the business actually works and how it should work. AI is missing context. That's exactly where Celonis comes in. Today, we're launching the Celonis context model. The context model is the new heart of the Celonis platform. It is an evolution of our process intelligence graph that over 350 enterprise customers like you have used to create a living digital twin of your operations. It includes process data extracted from all of your systems, encompassing the current state and history of your operations. Then we enrich it with unique knowledge, your goals, best practices, and the ways of working to paint a picture of your business. But we found that one more thing was needed for 360-degree business context. It's not enough just to understand how the business runs today. AI also has to be able to anticipate what's likely to happen next and help you make decisions. Last week, we announced the acquisition of Ikigai, a leader in decision intelligence. Through this acquisition, we're adding even more advanced simulation and prediction capabilities into our context model. So your people and your agents can understand not just how your business runs today, but how you can predict and decide how it runs tomorrow. Now, with our acquisition of Ikigai, their cutting-edge, AI-driven forecasting models and decision intelligence capabilities are combined with our technology, creating the context model. Now your AI agents have all the context they need to simulate different scenarios and act with full clarity about your business, past, present, and future. Take a look.
Alex, welcome. Welcome to Ikigai. Welcome to Cambridge.
Thank you so much, Steph. You know, we started Celonis 15 years ago, also in a university context. And our goal was to make processes work for people, for companies, and for the planet. And we've built the last 15 years this incredible platform that is able to provide all the visibility into how organizations operate. But today, we're talking about the next step and the next step that we are taking together. So maybe tell us a bit more about Ikigai and how you started.
So we started Ikigai 7 years ago with a simple mission. How do we bring AI to enterprises? In a popular press, we hear all about chatbots, all about generating beautiful images. But as far as enterprises are concerned, the data that powers enterprise is the structured data, tabular time series data, data that's sitting into them. The data that sort of you guys have amazingly captured over past 2 decades. I mean, in a sense, you have finally digitized all enterprises. And we have AI that sits on top of it. Our goal, our mission has been how do we bring AI for forecasting enterprises, planning, and how do we enable multiple individuals working in organizations to do decision-making together better, faster. We have been able to reduce their planning cycles from months to weeks and now to minutes.
It's super exciting. So in many ways, we've tackled sort of 2 sides of the coin of making enterprise AI work. And that's why it's very, very exciting that today we're announcing that we are joining forces and you are joining the Celonis family. We are also launching the Celonis context model today, which we're very, very excited about, because for the first time, we bring together all the process data with all the information around it, all the business context that make an enterprise work, and we bring it into a language that is machine readable, meaning a language that agents can understand. And by doing this, we are defining this new layer in the enterprise stack between the data layer and the agentic execution layer, which is the context layer. And without this context, AI is sort of a generalist. It is blind to how the operation works, the customer works. And what our enterprise customers need is they need specialists. So they go from operational blindness to operational clarity.
You know, we couldn't have asked for a better fit, because what this does is this allows us to take historical, past-looking things to future-looking things. One wants to always do what-ifs. And based on that, make the decision with the future in mind rather than just past in mind.
So the technology fit is phenomenal, but this is also about putting 2 great teams together. So I'm very pleased to announce that you are joining as our new Chief Scientist Enterprise AI.
At Ikigai, we have a terrific team of MIT professors, researchers, graduate students, and just a whole academic ecosystem around it. So really thrilled to bringing them together on this exciting mission.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Incredible stuff. But to achieve complete clarity, we have to look beyond the 4 walls of your business. Your processes extend beyond your organization. They run across suppliers, partners, and customers. So we've been working on a new capability called Celonis Networks. Networks allow you to securely share data and collaborate across company boundaries. And today, I'm excited to announce that Networks is moving into private preview for procurement and order management. Take Conrad, a procurement platform for technical supplies. Through Celonis networks, these partners have been sharing real-time data, exchanging 5,000 automated order updates every single day for the last 2 years. Conrad can instantly see delivery shifts or upstream delays, breaking down silos, not just inside one company, but across companies. And because this is built on a shared context model structure, you can scale this collaboration across multiple partners without the nightmare of heavy custom integration work. The context model and networks are just the beginning of the exciting product updates we have for you today. Let's go.
All right. Thanks, Dan. So I like to think about the context model as the brains of the operation. But if you think about it, a brain is only as smart as the input it receives. And our human brains, we get input from what we see, hear, taste, smell, touch. And the context model gets input from the data, the systems, the applications, devices, and interactions happening across your enterprise. And the important business context, unfortunately, lives in all those places. So how are we going to bring it all together into the context model? Well, the answer is the data core. Data core is our high-performance infrastructure that allows you to extract any data, structured, semi-structured, unstructured, and transform it into an object-centric model. Data core queries billions of records at scale, and frankly, leaves traditional methods in the dust. It's up to 20 times more powerful than alternatives and delivers the fastest, most consistent end-to-end load times in the industry. Now, since we made Data Core GA in December, we've seen massive adoption among our customers. And these are big enterprises, and they're really putting the data core through it. It's been tried and tested by over 80 enterprise customers, and they've been querying billions and billions of records. And we're seeing load times cut in half and a 75% reduction in runtime variance, plus a 14x reduction in processing time. But speed doesn't just mean how fast the data is moving. It's also about how fast you can access it. And many of you are already investing in centralizing your data into data lakes, like Databricks or Microsoft Fabric. And that's great because thanks to our zero-copy integrations to these sources, you don't have to move, copy, or replicate your data that's there. And I'm excited to announce our next major step today. New inbound zero-copy connectivity for AWS S3 is now available in private preview. And don't worry, Snowflake's coming soon after. So with that, we complete our coverage of all of the major cloud data platforms. Now, wherever your data lives, Celonis connects to it natively with zero-copy. And this allows you to embed Celonis deeply into your existing IT stack. Instant data access without duplication, which of course is going to boost performance, avoid synchronization issues, and guarantee consistency. With zero-copy, we're seeing customers achieve data transformations up to 10x faster. And because Celonis is built on open standards and protocols, you can expect zero-copy coverage to continue expanding over time, so stay tuned. But it's not a one-way street from all those data sources into the context model. Because once you enrich the data, it becomes this context-rich intelligence that, of course, you want to send out into your ecosystem. So today, we're happy to announce that outbound data sharing is available in private preview. So Celonis can now act as a native layer inside your data stack. And you can bring together raw data and business semantics in Celonis, and then feed that enriched data back into your central governed environment, using, of course, open Delta sharing protocols, so you can create that seamless bidirectional flow. And then that data can do anything. It can power your AI workflows, custom dashboards, or any downstream application that you choose. With Data Core feeding the context model, you can finally create a complete digital twin of your business operations. And guess what? That's just where the fun begins. So let's talk about how you use that power to build. But first, let's hear from some industry-leading CIOs that are doing just that.
Just like AI, if you're not doing anything with process intelligence, you're missing out on an opportunity to really listen to what your data is trying to tell you.
Juniper sees AI and data as a strategic enabler for our business strategy. Now connecting that dots in terms of data, creating insights with Celonis, but then also action that with agents, that's a booster for us in our business strategy.
There is hardly any other tool that gives me that visibility. And I think this is the key, to have the transparency and, see the brutal facts.
Working with Celonis is different. It only took us about 2 or 3 months to get real value out of it. And I've never seen us do something like that fast.
We have a vision as a team that we become a data and AI-driven company. We need to have a full competitive edge with an end-to-end view. And that's actually what we achieved with a Microsoft Celonis Juniper partnership.
Thanks, Brendan. What makes the context model unique is that it's not just looking at your data, but also all of the human actions and interactions happening across your company, thanks to task mining. After all, if AI agents are going to become good coworkers, they need to understand how your people get work done, which means that data needs to be structured with labeled actions linked to business objects. Today, we're announcing a new AI-driven task discovery capability in private preview to do exactly that. Automatically contextualize how manual work happens. So your context model can include the clicks, messages, and user actions that really tell the full story of your operations. Now, all of this is coming together in the context model from a number of different systems and sources that sometimes, like many of us, speak different languages. So we have to translate it all into a common language. That's where the Celonis catalog comes in. The catalog gives you pre-built connectors and predefined objects and events so that the context model and your AI agents can recognize that an invoice is an invoice. A sales order is a sales order, even if they come from different systems. Today, we're announcing 16 new connectors across a range of platforms, including Oracle and SAP S/4HANA, making it faster and easier than ever to bring data from every corner of your landscape into the context model. Now, we've built our context model, and we're ready to analyze, design, and operate composable AI-driven business processes. The build experience is where you'll create new solutions that are strategic, operational, and business critical. Let's start by analyzing the current state of our operations so we see where we can improve and decide where to deploy AI to really get maximum impact back. To help you do that, we're making our latest mining and adherence tools, from the Instance Explorer to Performance Spectrum to the object-centric performance metrics, generally available. So you can detect new process patterns, diagnose issues not just within a process, but across the intersections of multiple processes, and identify where you might be at risk of violating business rules. Now, once you've done all of that, naturally, you'll want to measure the value of your improvements, including the impact of those AI-driven solutions. Gartner predicts that 30% of AI projects will be abandoned after the pilot phase because of unclear business value. That's not what we want. That's why we built the Transformation Hub, your command center for tracking and proving the financial impact of every AI-driven solution and agent. And now, we've embedded it directly into Fuse, giving you a fully customizable interface to track any KPI through real-time snapshots. It provides an audit-ready record of ROI, tracing value directly back to the source so that you can justify your investments with some nice, cold, hard evidence. Now, once you've analyzed and identified high-value improvement opportunities, it's time to redesign your operations. You might just want to add an automation or an agent to take over some of the steps of a process. Or you might want to re-engineer that workflow altogether, or even spin up an entirely net new business process. We've been hard at work enhancing our process designer, adding intuitive drag-and-drop functionality that makes this design phase easier than ever. We're also continuing to integrate our design capabilities more deeply into the broader build experience, creating a smooth path from discovering an insight to using it to reimagine your processes. Now, we're ready to operate our redesigned workflow. And this is where you orchestrate your people, AI agents, and systems to work together seamlessly and autonomously. Last year at Celosphere, we made Orchestration Engine generally available. The momentum since has been incredible, with over 100 customers that are using it to operate AI-driven processes. We're continuing to work to make those complex orchestrations even simpler, adding new features like branching and looping. The context model helps you gain complete operational clarity. And the build experience empowers you to turn that into AI-driven composable solutions, deployed across the enterprise, delivering real outcomes like never before. And with that, Teo, over to you.
Thank you, Divya. At Celosphere, we introduced the Celonis agent tools available via MCP, a universal gateway that allows any agent to plug into Celonis, pull in operational context, and start working immediately. Since the launch, we've seen incredible traction from our customers across all industries, leveraging over 500 unique tools to give their agents operational clarity and take action. For example, a global life science organization connected an agent built in Microsoft Copilot Studio to shipment data and delay logic through MCP, automating return logistics for time-sensitive pharmaceutical products. Or a global industrial manufacturer that's building a smart replenishment agent that queries consolidated inventory data, identifies price mismatches, and writes optimized pricing decisions back across business units. The common thread is the same. Celonis provides the operational clarity, while agents built on platforms such as Microsoft Copilot Studio, Amazon Bedrock take the action. And today, we're adding even more native agent tools to make your agents more relevant and effective. First, new orchestration engine tools. This allows your agent to not just make suggestions, but to build and execute deterministic processes on the fly. And second, we've upgraded our search capabilities using RAG and vector stores. This allows agents to tap into your unstructured knowledge in real time, ensuring every decision is backed by the most relevant, up-to-date documentation. Now, let's see how all of these incredible innovations you've seen today come together to solve real business-critical problems in every industry. Over to you, Nele.
Thanks, Theo. At Celonis, we firmly believe that the enterprise of the future is AI-driven and composable. But it won't be built by a single vendor. It will be powered by an open ecosystem, building composable solutions grounded in operational context. And our ecosystem has been busy. Our Partner Apps program has grown into a powerhouse, now spanning 9 industries and 6 horizontal domains. This already includes more than 25 bespoke solutions, each built on Celonis and powered by deep industry expertise. Now, let's hear directly from one of them.
Without process intelligence, enterprise AI at scale, I think, is hopeful thinking. Our tagline in digital transformation at Novo Nordisk is patients are waiting. So our reason for existence is that we do actually use the best technologies and data, not only to create great science, but to deliver that science into the hands of patients as quickly as possible. When we started looking into the Celonis platform, the experts in the room got very excited because we saw the hypothetical value in being able to shrink our time to market down. At minimum, we could probably find 12 months or hopefully more. So we started with clinical operations. This was a natural starting point given the complexity. However, in the meantime, we've realized that part of the value of the Celonis platform is going into other domains within clinical development. So the regulatory quality team, also into manufacturing with the CMC team. This is all tied together in the drug development lifecycle from first in human to approval. Without process intelligence, it's going to be very hard for companies to really unlock the value of AI. Having a digital copy of your process, then the mining and the business context, that is what allows the agents and the large language models to be able to perform more advanced things where we unlock more value. It hits at a core for someone who works in the pharmaceutical industry that unlocking that value really means that you're able to treat more patients and they're not waiting for new innovative medications to reach them.
What Novo Nordisk are achieving is really exciting in an area that is both critical and specific to their industry. We know that many of you also want to accelerate time to value while reducing the work it takes to build data models, uncover knowledge, and create composable solutions to tackle your business-critical challenges. So to help you get there faster, we've pre-packaged these innovations, connectors to critical systems, predefined process data and knowledge, predictions, simulations, and pre-built apps into accelerators for each industry. These are the Celonis industry suites. These suites represent the ultimate convergence of the Celonis platform and partner expertise. We are delivering solutions that are ready to run, built for your industry, and designed to address your most business-critical challenges. They are tailored to the most complex value chains on the planet. The suites support a broad set of industries, including manufacturing, automotive, life sciences and pharma, banking and insurance, and many more. Whether it's managing clinical operations in pharma, navigating risk and controls in banking, or orchestrating complex manufacturing operations, they include everything you need. One example of how this comes to life in practice is in clinical operations within pharma, where customers like Novo Nordisk are solving business-critical challenges with Celonis. For pharma companies, bringing therapies to market quickly is essential to stay competitive. Today, it can take over a decade to bring a new drug to market. Around 80% of clinical trials face delays. Each day of delay can cost up to $5 million in lost value, while patients continue to wait for treatments. But this isn't just one industry. Across the board, customers are using Celonis to solve business-critical challenges. Here's a quick look. In automotive, our customers manage quality end-to-end, from R&D to after-sales, to proactively address root causes of defects. In banking, our customers transform institutional onboarding with smart routing and predictive risk scoring. In manufacturing, they connect production planning and shop floor to the broader business and optimize performance globally. And in defense, they ensure mission readiness with resilient, transparent supply chains. All powered by the new Celonis industry suites. Back to you, Dan.
The real magic of the platform is in the ecosystem that gravitates around it. We're building the Celonis platform to work with all enterprise AI tools and partners that you work with too. And over the past month, we've made some exciting partnership announcements. First, we announced our partnership with Oracle to power enterprise AI and accelerate IT modernization. We're enabling you to deploy the Celonis platform on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI, building on existing integrations between Celonis and Oracle Fusion Cloud applications. Together, we're helping you deploy AI across your Oracle landscape and reduce risk as you migrate from legacy systems to Oracle Fusion. We also announced that Celonis is a strategic launch partner for Microsoft Agent 365, Microsoft's enterprise control plane for managing and governing AI agents at scale. Together, Microsoft Agent 365 and Celonis enable you to govern AI agents while optimizing workflows and measuring return on AI investment. So there you have it. Exciting updates across the Celonis platform and ecosystem, and most importantly, a new context layer that every enterprise needs to translate the reality of the business into a language AI can understand and work with. The context revolution is really an evolution for us at Celonis. We've been helping global industry leaders to understand and reinvent their operations for the last 15 years. Now, we're taking that deep expertise, unique technology, and innovation from our new friends at Ikigai and our partners like Oracle, Microsoft, Snowflake, AWS, and Databricks, and we're putting it all together to provide the missing piece of the trillion-dollar AI puzzle. The honeymoon phase for enterprise AI is over. It's time to get to work to industrialize enterprise AI. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you at Celosphere.